All right. Welcome to my channel, The King Lee Way. For those coming for the first time or will be checking out this stream, my name is King. And currently I am based in Daejeon, South Korea. So hopefully you see the display name with my channel name and my city and the country I am currently in right now. So, and then I do have a guest, Daniel T. So I'm still waiting for his arrival. But before I get Daniel in, I'm just going to start giving a quick report here. So currently here in Daejeon, South Korea, it has been rainy, cloudy, and humid. So again, this morning I was very hot and warm. So that's the issues, during this monsoon season here in Korea. Let's see. Another thing which was interesting, I just want to say, is I went to Costco last night. And I was thinking, oh, wonderful. I'm going to Costco. I thought I could, go order food and sit at a table or a round table. Well, I really forgot that Costco is not a Korean company. It's a United States company, and it's a corporate company, and they have to follow corporate rules. So yeah, I forgot that since it's a U.S. company, social distancing lines were put in place just like back home in the United States. And if you wanted to order the food, it was takeout. There was nowhere else to sit. So I forgot that. So any company that's from, the West, they have to follow what corporate says. So that was, I had to come to a realization for that. And on a side note, I bought these cookies last night. So I'm going to show you the price on there. You see 9,991, close to $10. I know back home this costs about maybe $5 or $6 for these cookies. So there isn't a lot of soft cookies. So yeah, I had to pay a little premium for that. Okay. And what was another thing? Yeah. But everywhere else, if you go to any Korean establishment here in Korea, everything is still pretty much open. My friend's bar, as usual, was open. Well, since it was a weekday, there's only 3 or 4 of us. So that was the part that, we were already social distancing and everything. And yeah, even the Korean restaurants, I've been able to go to a restaurant. I've been able to go sit at a coffee shop. So, yes. All right. And now I see Daniel has arrived. So, and I'm going to bring Daniel in with me into this stream. And we're going to be joining you guys together. So, and the topic today is talking about, the new normal and what can we do during this new normal. And of course, this is not just a me and Daniel thing. This is going to be an everybody thing. So even you subs will get to give your 2 cents on what can we do. So, yep, let me get Daniel into this here. All right. And Daniel, good evening. Can you hear us?
Hey, 안녕하세요. Good evening.
Myself.
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Hear me?
Yep, I hear you.
Yeah. Looks like you're stuttering a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Looks like your video is stuttering a little bit.
It is. Let's see. Let me refresh this. I'm going to refresh this and then, actually, you're coming in clear now. Is it still stuttering,
yeah, I'm
Daniel?
actually using my, yep, I can hear you.
Okay. So,
Can you hear me?
How is life in Florida?
Well, it's been great so far, and I can tell you that I'm tasting a little bit more freedom than when I was in Cebu, which it was 2 weeks ago, prior to flying off of there and landing to Atlanta and then back to Jacksonville. So it's really fun.
Okay. So, wow. And you've been able to go out and eat at a restaurant or just at least spend time with family?
Well, let me just say this: I've been spending time for both, and I'm happy to be back to spend time with my family, especially with my mother. So compared to spending a solitude life in the Philippines for almost 5 years, but that's a different story.
Yeah.
But so far, because nowadays I can you know, um, I can pretty much do whatever I want, even though in most public places, uh, I'm still required to wear a mask.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like I'm being told to stay home at all.
Or you need a pass.
Yeah, that's the sucky part.
Yeah. All right. And before we get to a topic, let's maybe catch up on some of the comments here. Excuse me. So I don't want to mute the mic and disappear like Geo. So, yeah. So let's, so good old Mr. Ron says good morning. Mr. Columbus, Ohio. And of course, he is hanging out in Davao. And he's saying, good day to you, Daniel, Mr. Ron. So, yeah. And I think this might be your twin brother, Daniel. So, Mr. Nippon, and morning. And Daniel, are you there? Yeah, right now he's freezing. I'll try to get him back, or he'll get back in. Bob, good morning, King. How are things with you today? Things are still good. Yeah. So, still getting to do the fun stuff here. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. And Asian Scripted. Yeah. And everyone, check out his channel. Yep. It sucks no matter where you are in the world. Yes. So Asian Scripted, he has a channel, and his channel's been blowing up. So he has those nice tours. I know you're probably getting sick of Cebu saying tours, but hey, thanks for the reports. That's what I think we're watching for, is what reports you have for us. And yeah, wow, $900,000 for cookies. Yep, yeah. So it is quite expensive. Yeah, I don't buy it too much. Okay, so Nippon, yeah, thanks. Video's good. I think Daniel's internet, I don't know, went a little slow, but he'll come right back. So we'll bring him right back in. And Broker Basil, hi guys. Yes, we can hear you both very well. Yeah. So yeah, you should have much better internet over there in Florida. So yep, shout out. Thank you. Jackie. Yep. Jackie is based in Cavite. So she's over there. Yeah. And good morning, King. Yeah. SNR. Yeah. And even Landers, lots of products from Costco. Yeah. So they have like Kirkland products in both places. So yeah. And for Daniel, is that Mohawk? So yeah, I was wondering the same thing. I was going to ask him that question. And Ron says hi to Jackie. And guess what? Thomas is now in Palm Springs. So he went from almost parts of California, either in San Diego, to Las Vegas. Now he's in Palm Springs. And hopefully he wants to come here where I'm at. So we'll see what happens. Yep. Mohawk. So there we go. And okay, let me see. Daniel is coming back in. Let's get you back in here, Daniel. Let's see. Oh yeah.
Hey guys, sorry about that.
Wouldn't it?
I sincerely apologize.
Yeah.
I got disconnected a bit. Forgive me about that, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, I would say you should have much better internet in Florida.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
There you go.
Yep. And then Ken says hi to both of us.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're just. And Jackie says hi to Ron. Oh, and Jan says hello to both of us, Daniel.
Yeah.
So there's Jan.
How's it
She
going?
has her channel. She's
You know,
based.
Jan.
Yeah. Yep. She's based in Angeles, so she has a channel. And are we both on? Sound like helium? Hi. So yeah. Let's see. It might be me, but your mic sounds really bad. Is it me or Daniel?
Well, let me
I'm
change microphone just in case. Give me 1 second. One
yeah,
second.
yeah.
One
So
second,
Ron says
guys.
the okay, yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Let's see.
Is it better?
Let's
Can you
see.
hear me now?
I can barely hear you, Daniel. Yeah.
Oh, hang on 1 second again.
Yep. Yeah. So spoke too soon. King's audio is now just at least trouble hearing here in Davis. Okay. I'll do my best here. Yeah, I'm trying to adjust my microphone. So there we go.
Maybe I need to get closer.
Yeah. I don't want to keep bumping my table with my chair. Awesome. Causing an earthquake. So yeah. Yeah, then it'll be shaking. Are you okay?
I'm in a small enclosed space right now.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, and I'm same here, except I have a window at least. So yeah, and Jan says hello, and yes, sounds like helium. We're all must be on the microphones must be on something. They might be on. So,
I actually have two microphones. One is actually attached to the Logitech webcam, and the other one's actually built into the laptop. So I had to pick the ones from the laptop, which is much more receptive.
Okay. And that's the one you're using
so you have
back
to
in
so
Lapo?
guys, you have to forgive me for that.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. And okay. And they're just saying, and Daniel says, yep, I'm sorry, I got disconnecting. Excuse me. So let's see. All right. And yep, I always remember your blue wrench. Yeah. And what is it? All right. And Nippon, I didn't know. I don't know if you noticed, Daniel, he's the same age as you.
Yeah. Well, Nippon, unfortunately, yes, I'm using Comcast, and a little bit of a finicky between the wireless parts. I had to use Ethernet instead. So again, I sincerely apologize.
Yeah. Okay. And then Nippon says hi to Jan, and Jan says hello, Bob, and yep. And Ron says, oh yeah, as soon as you came back, as we were working as a team, it cleared up. So it's good to work in pairs as a team. The good luck thing. So yes, and glad you like the wrench. The jacket is what we call it in the Philippines community. All right, good news. All right, I'm going to go to the banner, Daniel, and I put some questions. So we're going to start with you here to get it started off. So do you see the question there?
Okay, so within the past 2 weeks, when I got back to Florida, basically I've been practicing a self quarantine for almost 2 weeks, and so far I have not experienced any symptoms, nor do I had any kind of a change in terms of my sleeping habits. So basically I just adjusted to the Eastern time zone here in Florida. So now that the 2 week quarantine, my self quarantine is already over, I can pretty much do whatever I want, but I still have to exercise my responsibilities. Understanding that in contrast to, like, say, in Cebu, because you're not really allowed to go out unless you have to buy necessities, or in cases that you're your health goes wrong, you have to actually go to the hospital, then yeah, you're definitely allowed on certain premise. But here, I mean, you just need to wear your mask and you can pretty much go wherever you need to go. So, again, it's no problem here.
Yeah. So, okay. And of course,
One thing for sure, sorry.
go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say that I actually spent time with my grandmother this past Sunday. So, you know, we've been we've been talking almost nonstop, and I can tell you that I really miss her and the family here. Um, and in addition to that, I also cycled around near downtown. You know, so
Okay.
uh, so I guess it's a different world. Ever since I've been away for like almost 5 years in Asia. So,
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yep. And of course, yeah, for me, there hasn't been a lot of home activities because the only home activities is YouTube, live stream, and go to
I
sleep,
never get
and
bored.
I'm gone.
I never
Yeah.
I never get bored. I always find something else
Yeah.
to do. In
Yeah.
fact, because I had to do a lot of yard work within the past 2 weeks. So for me, it's just it's like I'm finding something else to be productive.
Yeah.
So
So, yep. And yeah, and I've just been staying busy with this channel and just going around checking things out in Daejeon again. A huge appreciation since most of the places I go to because you've been I think more places in Daejeon than I have.
well, you can say that, but it's just more like a short stint. It's just a short stint of like being in places where I can familiarize myself, and of course, acclimating into the culture. Uh, Korea is no different, I would say, because it not only is a small country, but you can actually navigate much more easily than being here in U.S. as a whole.
Yeah.
That's just my
Yeah.
opinion.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And Nippon's and hanging in Folsom and here's Scott who's in Korea. He has a question for you, Daniel.
Uh, I'm not sure yet. I'm hoping maybe when the pandemic is over, maybe next year or 2 years. It depends. But right now, I'm focusing on spending time with family. Um, you know, just basically, help them navigate the crisis by, again, just just having this close knit of family time. So being back in a way, it's a relief, in my sense. You know,
Yeah.
uh, other than being depressed when you're just being stuck in Cebu, for example.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, before pandemic, Cebu was fun. Just we go anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah, it's no longer fun when you have these lockdowns, like being
Yeah.
subsequently just measured every 2 weeks. Imagine that.
Yeah. Yeah. Jeez. Okay, let's see. Okay, so broker says, okay, moved here from NYC, but haven't ventured far. I need to ride around. Okay, Folsom. Okay, and yeah, good if people are using masks in Florida. No one is using masks here in Folsom. And of course, we always know Folsom. When I think of Folsom, I always think of Folsom Prison.
Well, that's funny. I actually saw that was it's similar to that movie called The Rock. That was like in
Yeah.
1997, starring Sean Connery and Nicolas
Yeah,
Cage. Like you're in this sort of this big prison called the Alcatraz.
yeah,
So imagine being with those maybe high profile criminals there. It's hell.
yeah. And only like 1%. One person escaped Alcatraz because you got to swim through those waters.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And Mr. Alabama has a question for you.
No, man. I mean, 5 years 5 years worth of travel just kind of really helped change my perspective in life. Like, let me give you a little bit of a short story, okay? That back before I actually, you know, before I moved to Asia, like I was just I was more complacent. I was naive and maybe less susceptible to what's going on in kitchen table issues. But now it's like being when I got back, it almost just kind of helped me shape my own mindset. The way that I actually interact with people, the way I see things more differently than it was before, and uh, being back here, it's just more like it helped me just kind of like change myself for the better. You know, you know, everything was bittersweet, I would say, but at the same time, I'm grateful that I spent time with people that I've gotten to know and gain friendships with them. So you know, it just helped me carry or move forward with where I am right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And one question, Daniel, people that never traveled outside even the state of Florida or the United States, do you think they understand you or us?
That depends. I mean,
Yeah.
like here, I guess. You know, I don't know if I have to act American again.
Yeah.
No, I would say I'm just um, I I'm just a different person, but I still look the same.
Yeah.
Maybe for the better. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Okay. And Bama has another question about yard work.
Yes, unfortunately, but I actually love doing yard work. It's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I love cutting grass, so
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
it's American way of life.
Yeah. And Jan has a question because her husband's in Florida.
Well, no. It's more like in Aventura. It's like slightly north of Miami. That was where I used to stay. But with all this pandemic going on right now, I'm in Jacksonville. So I'm hoping maybe by the end of this year or sometime next year, I can actually drive back to South Florida again, and at least refamiliarize myself in with the
Yeah.
with the metropolis in Miami.
Yeah. Mhm. Okay. And here's a Lapu Lapu question from Scott.
Yeah. Okay, Scott. The part of Lapu Lapu that I did stay was in Barangay Song. It's what it is because I was like near the coastal waters, and then surrounded with like say nearby hotels and some of the mom and pop stores and even shopping malls. So if you plan on migrating there at sometime this year or next year, um, my question to you is: do you want to stay near the beach, or do you want to be like say near the airport, which is like practically 15 minutes away? So for me, I decided to stay maybe away from the traffic areas, like say Mac 10 Newtown, which is actually a nice place. You can actually check that out. If you're interested. If you have any questions, just let me know. I can actually write down. I'm gonna type my email right now.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, yeah. Okay. Let's see. And yeah, thinking about Johnny Cash. Yeah. Walk the line. So.
Johnny Cash.
Yep.
I'll have to rewatch the part of his YouTube. These old classics.
Yeah. And then there was a movie with River Phoenix and I think
Roll
Reese
Tide.
Witherspoon.
Roll Tide. Roll
Yeah.
Tide.
I would love to go to a game at Alabama. Yep. And Nippon is answering his question. He's at home. YouTube, workout with rubber bands, cooking, sleeping 10 hours a day, have a bad habit of 1.5 hour naps during lunch hours like China. Yeah. Because, for example, my girlfriend has like a 3 hour lunch break at her job. So, yeah. Okay. And yeah, Mr. Ron, he was telling me, yeah, he's been napping all day. Okay, and yes, he's online from Folsom Prison listening to Johnny Cash. So he's having fun there. Yeah. And there's the email, everyone, if you have questions for Daniel. So yeah, just send them email. So for those that don't know, he doesn't have a channel yet, unless he decides. So
I said, yeah. If I decided to be a vlogger, then yes, I may have to be inclined to open up a YouTube channel. But at the moment, it's like maybe email, email inquiries only at this point, because I'm want to stay, like low profile, but at the same time, it's like I guess with my seldom appearances in both King's channel or Geo's channel. I mean, I'm slowly becoming a celebrity. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. It's crazy because I have some of the subs always goes, is Daniel coming back on again? So I actually still get requests about for you to come back on. So I was like, all right, let's keep bringing them back on. Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, it's fun too. So yeah, and used to have that on vinyl, the record. Uh-oh. So let's see. Don't we love this $1 million question? Do we have a crystal ball?
How much longer do you think this pandemic will last? Well, let's see. It's still unpredictable at this point, so I can't say whether it's going to be the end of this year or next year. But it would depend on how we can govern ourselves in terms of, like, do we need to travel again at some point, or be stuck in lockdowns? Who knows? It's still unpredictable. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. So, yep. And just have to see. Just go with the flow because it's going to take a couple years to recover from this. Just like, remember, 1918 pandemic. Yeah. Okay. Here's Broker. He has a question for you.
Okay. Well, let's just say because I subscribe on certain news feeds, particularly like say in the Philippines, like Philstar, the Require.net, and then in other countries such as Singapore, I subscribe to the Channel News Asia. So, like in my phone, I always get these frequent news feeds, and then whatever I saw from the articles, I just immediately share it. So that's why this gimmick of this just in is kind of like this instant news feed for everybody to know. That's just my thing.
I just figured out your title for your YouTube channel. Just in.
I don't know. I'm thinking about that, but right now it's not certain.
Yeah. Okay, why does China take such a long lunch break? So, do you have an answer for this one, Daniel?
I can't say if they have a long lunch break. I would say the maximum is just 30 minutes of worth of lunch breaks, but I don't see any evidence of very long lunch breaks at all.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I might have to fly back there at some point. But
yeah,
who knows?
Yeah, I don't know if it's because it's summertime or they let their kids at least have lunch with their families. I mean, this is something I hear more about in Latin America. siesta, 2 hours.
Oh, the mañana time, right?
Yeah. Just
or some say would call it Latin time.
yeah. So exactly. So that's what I'm used to hearing about, those 2 or maybe 3 hours, because they have to walk and then go and have, lunch with the family. Yep. And Mr. Ron,
Yeah.
he's in Davao. He's been under quarantine because he's over 60.
Yeah. Hey, Ron, and I'm guessing you're not really allowed to go out. I hope you do. If you're just gonna get necessities. If not, then I'm sorry. Sorry about that, man. That's all I can say.
Yep. And Jeffrey says hello. And he said he's sorry he's late. But here's I've been talking with him on and off. And do you think my daughter will have trouble getting to the country? So, Daniel, she is going to be in the EPIC program, which is called the English program in Korea, public school teaching job. But I already know
Well, what question is? Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, no, go ahead first, and then I'll give the answer because I already know what the process is.
I'm not really keen on which requirements, as far as like getting a work visa in Korea. Like I can tell from experience because I always use my tourist visa to spend almost 3 months each year.
Yeah.
And nobody really, well, I don't want to get into specifics, but I've never been vetted so much that because I'm using my U.S. passport, so it's almost like they don't really care.
Yeah.
As long as you spend money, it'd be like, okay, do whatever you need to do in Korea.
Yeah. And Jeffrey, because usually for the EPIC program, they're supposed to come 2 weeks prior, which usually they'll start September 1st, was when their classroom starts. And usually you do orientation, but she should not have any problem. I think she's coming along with a bunch of EPIC teachers. So they're going to all do 2 weeks of quarantine. That's why they're coming, you were telling me, August 6th. So they have to do the 2 weeks of quarantine and then another 2 weeks of orientation for the EPIC program. And then they'll be placed wherever they, of course, luckily she knows your city because you were able to provide that information to me. But, this actual school, they don't tell her at all. But she should not have a problem if she has all her paperwork. And I think, for her to get accepted at EPIC, she got her paperwork. So, yeah, she's going to be there in a couple weeks. So that's what you stated to me earlier. Yeah. And, yeah. So if you do have a YouTube...
Jack Daniels, everybody. Jack Daniels.
Yeah, you got the Jack. Yeah.
I can still talk. Trust me. I can still talk.
Yeah. Which is when she's supposed to report. Yeah, she's going to go through 2 weeks of quarantine. So that's the best way I can put it. So, yeah, I've never been to the EPIC orientation, but I knew Korean guys that were providing information, the ones that knew how to speak English, about what to do's and don'ts in Korea. So, but there's things I don't want to say about the do's and don'ts because the stuff they say at the orientation is something I wouldn't say. So, yeah. And Bob has a question for you here.
Unfortunately not. Never check on K.A.E. or K.A.E. YouTube channel?
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that. Is it okay if you can give me some specifics?
Yeah. Okay. In Korea, are they talking about reopening schools? There's very plans in the works now in Alabama to reopen schools. Actually, the academies are open. The only reason I know is a couple of my friends are working in them right now, but the public schools haven't opened at all. So a lot of the public school teachers are just sitting and twiddling their thumb, receiving the 70% pay, which is by Korean law, but I don't know what's followed anymore in Korea regards to salary, because that's a really ticky-tacky issue these days. But I think public school, you're okay. But if you're working at a private company or private business, oh, hold your breath or try not to. You might not be getting paid. That's why I don't like working in the academy system if I don't have to. Let's see here. Oh, one system said they're reopening, but it'll be online. Some others are talking about in person with social distancing. Daniel, do you have any news about Florida?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, they're contemplating opening schools by August 31st. I can tell you from my research that in Jacksonville that they're going to do a 50-50 approach, like 50% of online teaching and 50% in class. So in a way, it's like the social distancing back there.
Okay. Yeah. And I got news about California recently because it affects me and my gig job. Schools will open online in the fall. And they actually, because I deal with sports, sports season in California is supposed to start in January. So I am contemplating if I'm going to come back to California. I'm just still debating. Because do I want to come to California, take the risk of school shutting down again and I can't work, or just stay here? Because if I go to California, come back to Korea, I have to go through that 2-week quarantine again, which I really don't want to sit through in Korea, So that was one of the things. And let's see, I'll actually share what I do in America because let me go to the brand part. I actually made the magazine. So I'm going to show you guys the picture of what I do. So here you go. So you see it? That is my job.
You look like an NBA coach.
I know. I'm a volleyball referee for high schools. I used to do college, but yeah. So I'm giving out. Yeah.
You look like a coach. You were like giving the pink. It's almost like a pink slip. You say, "Hey, you're fired."
Yeah. So, yeah. So that's a magazine, Referee Magazine, and yeah, and I'm in the volleyball sector of it. Yeah, so I do the volleyball. And it's kind of weird. On the front cover of that magazine, they had an Asian woman as a baseball umpire who's in AA right now. So I kind of felt it was like Asian American Month on the magazine. So I was kind of laughing that month because at first, her face looked like mine. I'm like, did they Photoshop me as a baseball umpire? But I was like, no, it was actually a female.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not an Asian last name at all. So, yeah. Let's see. Let me, yep. Let's see. Knit Bond. Yep. And Oxford vaccine is successful in phase 2. It's generating both antibodies and memory. Scientists found SARS. Well,
I may have antibodies, Why can't they extract it from me? Because I haven't been sick.
Yeah.
That's the question.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I don't mind doing it for free.
Yeah. Same here. Go for it. Yep. Has high chance of long-term immunity. Yeah. So COVID-19. Let's add COVID-20 to it. And academies are private schools. Yeah. In Korea, they're private schools. Okay. And let's see what Jeffrey has to say here. He says he has, I forgot to tell you, he's in Clearwater, Florida.
Yes.
So
it's like almost like a 4-hour drive from Jacksonville. Not that far.
Yeah. And his 3 sons are near you.
Oh yeah, Jacksonville University. Yes, it's on the river. It's called near River City Landing, in the opposite side, of course. Yeah.
Right. So, so right there. Let's see. Oh yeah. Yeah, and the channel is about the inner workings of the city wiping out all illegal vendors. The way they do it is atrocious. Atrocious. So check it out. So that's what the K.A.E is about. And Go More High gives a shutout. So yeah. Okay. And yeah. Yep, that's me doing volleyball. And here's Jeffrey. He has something about Florida, which this wouldn't surprise me with teacher unions.
I have no say in the matter because I'm never been part of the union, to be honest.
Yeah. And actually, Jeffrey, the same thing with LA Unified School District, the teachers union is kind of don't want to go in either. So I think that's pretty much across the board. So yeah. And yeah, yellow card for volleyball. So we use cards in volleyball. So that's my main job, which I lost a lot of work this past spring. Because that money was going to be my travel money to China, Philippines, and everything. So that's why I'm able to receive some unemployment now because of that.
Is that an alternative to pink slip? It's almost like if they ran out of pink slip note cards, it'd be like, okay, I'll just give you a yellow card instead. I owe you pink slips, you know? This is like this is like my alternative, my alternative, you're fired card kind of thing. No, I'm just kidding.
Donald Trump.
No, I'm just kidding.
From the show. Yeah. Yep. And that's, the reason, because the case is in Florida. So, yeah. And let's see. And and Bama has heard the news. And Jeff says, it's correct. Okay. Now, they might well open the schools here. Every time I go out the front door, there are 20 kids playing a group with no mask. The police came by the other day. I've never seen anything run so fast. The kids.
See, this is the cause and effect of what's been happening in the Philippines. When you see people without masks, it kind of preempts the government to most likely prolong the lockdown. And that really that's really a double whammy for not only for them but for the law-abiding citizens there, you know. So I hope that maybe, you know, if you have the time or convenience, Ron, maybe you can kind of like encourage those kids to wear masks. Otherwise, it'd be like, okay, they may have to go to be detained by the police once they get spotted, which is, you know, troublesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And let's see here. Let's catch up on. Oh, look who showed up, Daniel. Macho.
The my fan, is that my fan over there? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So he's glad to made it to the live stream. Yeah, welcome, Macho. We're happy to have you here as always. So thanks for showing up.
I appreciate that, John.
Yeah. And so good vibes. All right. I'm going to go back to the banners because I have some more questions here. Let's see. Now, for any of you, what skill sets have you worked on during this pandemic? So have you been, because I know you were working on something back when you were in Lapu-Lapu.
Well, one thing I can tell you is because I've been reading a lot of books, you know. So in a sense, I never been bored, you know. Just spending 4 months just kind of like reshuffling my priorities, for instance. I've also done a lot of graphic design and some carpentry because I just started building a bamboo made cabinet that was in Cebu province right before the pandemic started. So in a way, it's like it helped me diversify my skill set, and maybe to some sense it may benefit the overall market, whoever needs it. Like say if they want to use use my services to to help them out. Hey, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I want to ask these people.
Yeah.
I'm curious about our viewers out there. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, what have you guys been doing for the last 4 or 5 months, for instance?
Yeah. Yeah, we want to know some special skill set from you guys because, it'll give me some ideas. Like if you guys worked on something that might interest other viewers here, even ourselves. So, yeah, let us know. And let's see. And let's see if they come up with that. And Jan says hello to Macho. And yeah, we have 20 viewers, 20 million viewers is when they do the Filipino analytics. They times it by a million.
Back to 19. It's becoming volatile. It's becoming volatile.
So like our stock market. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, and Jan will have her stream going eventually. Yep. Yep, and I agree when people do things the government asks them not to do, whether you agree with it or not, makes things work. The lockdowns just get worse. Yeah. Because Cebu City's under MECQ now.
Yep, absolutely.
Modified.
And this is like most regions are given a 2-week grace period before whether or not the lockdowns will be eased, will be prolonged, or it's going to be like a lot stricter. Which I did find out. I found out that President Duterte is going to ask the police to be more stricter, and they're going to start arresting people when they are not when they're not wearing masks. So it's going to make life harder for Filipinos out there.
Yeah. And let's see. So, okay, David White, welcome. Yep. And Jan, I'm going to try to get through some of the comments here. Okay, what's genetics antibodies? So you're asking Bob. So I'll let Bob answer that. All right. And yeah, Bama has a question for you, Daniel, even for myself, but I'm going to have you answer this first.
Yep. Well, I always arrive in Bangkok, and then after that, I would go to the province side, like say Chiang Mai, Krabi, and Surat Thani. Surat Thani is similar to Cebu, but much cleaner, and you hardly see any garbage there. And also Phuket, which is it's almost like the one of the famous tourist spots for Western countries. So yeah, Thailand's one of the best Southeast Asian countries to visit. So
yeah, okay. And for me, I've been to Bangkok for a couple months. I just decided to just get away from Korea, so I just worked online at a co-working space and traveled mostly around Bangkok. So, but hopefully on my next time, I'm going to go to more places like Surat Thani, Chiang Mai, of course, one of the digital nomad capitals of the world, Chiang Mai.
Yeah, I mean, once you in Thailand, you definitely meet a lot of happy people. Like not exactly in Bangkok, but like say in Chiang Mai or Surat Thani, they're much happier being in province than being in cities. I can tell you that.
Yeah. I wish I would have ventured out more, but I was just like, constantly just trying to get work done. So, but I can't wait to get back out there. Let's see. And okay. So, since you were just watching Netflix, so yeah.
Amazon Prime, nice.
Yep. Amazon. Yeah, I got my Amazon. I use Auto Voice, genetically altered antibodies. Okay. So Bob C answered that one. Yep. Let's see. Okay, broker. Too much time spent sleeping, coffee, drink, watching YouTube. Would like to spend more time on video editing skills and get out on my bike more often.
I'm curious. Where are you staying now, Basil? You know,
Yeah,
are you in the Philippines or are you here in somewhere in US? I'm curious.
yeah, yeah. Let us know. And let's see. Yep. And let's see, Macho. Let's see. Do you consider turning into a live stream on YouTube several times a day is a skill?
Well,
Because that's what I've. Go ahead.
no, I'm gonna. What I'm gonna say is this is like the alternative of like being socially interactive
Yeah.
with people from all over the world. You know,
Yeah.
so for those who are viewing right now, all I can say is I really appreciate it, and hopefully we can try our best to be more conversational through live streams.
Yeah. And yeah. And companies like StreamYard that I'm using and all these other companies, they're cashing in right now on
Yeah,
all these programs. Wish I'd have came up with that idea.
takes time.
Yeah. Let's see. So, what editing? So, there's so many editing programs. I use a couple too. So, I use Create, and then I might venture into like others like DaVinci and Vimora.
Yeah, you should try Movavi. It's actually much easier to
Okay.
to orient yourself. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I might switch over because I like Create. It's easy, but I'm getting bored with it.
but I usually use Adobe Premiere Pro, so because I do
Yeah.
a lot of like the special effects stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
So yeah, I have an account. I haven't activated it because it's expensive.
yeah, it is expensive.
Yeah. Okay, Bob, have you used a vaccine? If not, I rest my case.
Good
So,
vibes, more like bad vibes.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Let's see.
no, I'm just kidding.
Okay, let me see if. Okay, yeah, and Jan says it's free to download. And here's Scott. What he's gonna say here. Wow, why isn't it not loading? Okay.
There is one digital nomad. I can't remember his name, but he is based in Bangkok. I
Yeah.
may have to do some digging on that particular individual, and then the next live stream I will share it to you. But yeah, but there is a nomad who's been staying in Thailand for more than a year. Yeah,
Hmm.
actually he's from UK, but
Oh,
I'm gonna verify that for sure.
yeah. Okay. Is he a young guy from?
Yes, he is.
Okay, I thought he was based in Chiang Mai.
I'm not sure if he's still in Chiang Mai, but he's still somewhere in Thailand. That's
Yeah.
from what I've learned.
Yeah. There's like two of them. One's kind of has a bald head, and I just can't remember his name
Yeah,
because he's always constantly bringing out stuff about where he is and what he's doing.
definitely.
Yeah. Okay. And broker says I've yet to travel to Philippines, but have traveled extensively in Thailand. I always feel safe there.
Uh, well, Philippines is relatively safe, but
Yeah.
like in some areas that are like say in Mindanao, exercise caution. Like
Yeah.
there's a whole lot of terrorists lurking, and you know, and if you're spotted, well, get ready,
Yeah.
run,
And you talk.
run, run
Yeah.
away.
You talking about Zamboanga
Uh,
or what area?
Possibly, yeah, possibly some bongo, but in like say General Santos, um, and some nearby areas. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, it's free. Yeah. Let's see here. And Scott, maybe because they're overstaying their visa in Thailand.
Never know.
Never
Never know.
know. I mean, they have what? They have an education visa, self-defense visa, or teaching English work permit.
Or marriage visa.
Yeah. But the problem with it is they still have to do a 90-day check-in, which could be a little annoying and frustrating. So I don't know if you know about the 90-day check-in, Daniel.
Which I don't want to be in.
Yeah, because even if you have a teaching job, sometimes in the contract they said you'll have days off to go to immigration.
Yeah.
For the 90-day. So I heard like 2-3 conflicting stories. I have a friend that lived in Thailand, but now he's based in Korea.
I'd rather spend 90 days being with Jihoon. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so Jan's going to try that one. So, yeah, we at least, and Scott says, and Jan says, yeah, I'm really cheap on that. Oh. Yeah, this thing does get away, these comments, if there's like a multiple attacks on the comments. So, yeah. So some of them I'm just going to read, but the ones that actually have some questions. Okay, when you say bike is a road bike or motorbike, if you like cycling, American River Bike Trail's great. 30 miles one way from Discovery Park to Folsom.
No, I'm actually cycling. So
yeah,
I have the Shimano Expedition, which is a mountain bike, but it's very light and very versatile. So for me, it's like it's much more convenient for me to use as opposed to driving a car, because right now I'm still having a little bit of phobia. You know, it's been 5 years that I have not driven a car ever since I was in Asia.
Yeah,
you know, it's been a long time, and the effect on me is like, okay, I'm a little bit shaky, you know. I don't know if I should drive a car again, but it's a necessity here in US.
Yeah, I actually have an SUV back home.
My goodness.
But you know how much I paid for that SUV?
Well, is it just there, or are you lending it to someone else who's willing to drive it?
No, it's at my mom's house. It's
okay. Okay.
So what she does for me is she starts the engine every Saturday, run it for 15 minutes.
Okay.
But it's a 2003 Lincoln Aviator, but I only paid $1,000 for it.
Okay. What year is this?
2003.
2003. Okay.
Yeah, so I just use it for my job. So as long as I can get from the Valley to Pasadena, because I'll be working. If I go back in January, just have to drive to Pasadena.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I change groups is I love to stop in for dinner near the 626 area code. It's mostly a Chinese neighborhood, so the Chinese food is much cheaper. Because I love the 626 area code, you know.
Nice.
So much cheaper than going to Koreatown. Less traffic to deal with, too. So that's a great part of it. Let's see. Oh, okay. So brokers answered your question.
So okay, Davis, California.
That is past.
Is it somewhere near?
Oh,
Sacramento. Okay.
Yeah, because there's a university, UC Davis.
Okay. I got what you mean.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Let's see what. And here's Jeffrey's comment. I've never been to YouTube until 19. Same with LiveStream. Yeah. So a lot more people are now just coming to live streams now. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I try my best to schedule things, you know, not to coincide with Gio and Paul. But of course, Paul, you never know when he's in the stream. It's unpredictable. But luckily, we haven't done it at the same time. So I could bother Paul and go, Paul, when are you streaming? But most of the times I just go with the flow, and I can maneuver more, you know, than the others do.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. And yeah, and Bama has been to Thailand several times, pretty safe, but it still has crime. Never been to Philippines. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't had too many issues in Thailand. Of course, some of my friends that stayed at like the little dorms in Kasan Road, some guys were stealing everything. That's why I was telling them about the Lactoke bag.
Yeah, I think one of the most prevalent misdemeanor crimes in Thailand is pickpocketing. So you really have to kind of like zip your pants or something, or your pockets.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to take away that reaction time is basically.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, Bobby, welcome. It's nice to see you here. Yep. And let's see, Jeffrey. Yep, I learned about the Philippines and Korea since COVID-19. Yeah.
What have you learned, Jeffrey Blanding? What have you learned about Philippines and Korea? I'm curious about that.
Yeah.
Feel free to let us in.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know why he's learning about Korea a lot more is he has someone he has to, worry about and, make sure she's okay.
Must be the food.
Yeah, and the food. So so I know there's that part, but there's probably more. Okay, and Jan says hello. Okay, and let's see what Bob has to say here. Okay, so had vaccines, polio, chickenpox, mumps, measles, all those years to develop using our own natural antibodies, much safer. So let's see. Okay, and this could probably help us here. Yep, try it. The only issue is it requires a lot of decent processor specs to limit crashes, but it will do more than you ever want. Yeah, I've been so spoiled not having a desktop, Daniel, for editing.
Well, I have a desktop and a laptop here. So, well, basically this is kind of like my workstation.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have two screens.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I keep looking sometime to the right, but that's where the big screen is.
Yeah. Yeah, because my desktop is really quick when I was back home in America, and I bought a new I have two laptops now.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah. So for my new laptop, that's where I do the editing, and I go to the coffee shop to go edit.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see here. And I use shortcut for my videos. Free, no watermark, lets you edit 4K, 60 frames. Okay. It's good to know. And Bob C says, hello, Bobby. And here's Jeffrey. Let's see what he has. Sorry I came late. This is for Dan. Are you currently in the Philippines or in the U.S.?
Yep, I'm back in U.S. Like I've been here for 2 weeks now. So.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I'm going to read through some of these comments here and add something here. So Bobby says, hi. Woo. We got an influx now. Wowzers. Ooh, maybe I have to click on it. Okay, so Bobby says hi. Sometimes I have to click so I don't lose my spot in the comments here.
Is this part of the new norm? Always focusing on Jan Batik.
Yeah.
Hello, we're talking. No,
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's all about Jan. She was one of my guests on here. Yep, so it says good enough. Let's see. I'm gonna go try to hopefully like StreamYard could fix some of the way the comments work. Let's see. Yep, and Nippon says Thai Express can go to Laos or Cambodia to get a stamp. So Thais, right, Nippon, not foreign, because they can travel within. Now, if we go to Cambodia, we have to what? Drop $3,000 as a deposit.
I wouldn't want to part my hard-earned money to some other country that might scam me in the end.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put that on hold.
Yeah. Well, actually, I met a South African English teacher. Their school is paying for that. She's in Cambodia right now. And I am interested to find out because I'm trying to wait till she gets to her 14-day quarantine. And I'm going to ask her, like, hey, did you get that $3,000 back? Or how much of it is gone? Because, you know, they probably use that for the quarantine fee.
Good question.
Yeah. But I did talk to her. She said she's willing to come onto the stream and tell me. So I might be able to get her on in 2 weeks if, you know, everything goes accordingly. Okay, Enrique shared a recent survey from Thailand. 90% of Thais don't want Farangs coming back. What would you say to that?
I may have to respectfully dispute it. I mean, not all Thais, not many Thais are like that, but maybe in terms of government, you know, it's just they impose a lot of restrictions for foreigners now. But I think not all Thais are like that. So
and let's see here. Nippon talking about road biking. I used to ride motorbikes in the past. Yes, there are many routes from Davis. So yeah. And speaking of bike routes, did you do some biking in Daejeon because you have that river walk?
Yeah. Took me like, I don't know, maybe almost 2 hours to cycle around Daejeon. It's really not that big, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to remember. Actually, compared to Seoul, like in Seoul, because it's, you know, there's Hanggang Park. You know, you can pretty much just cycle, you know, like near the river, and there's hardly any traffic. But in Daejeon, it's like I have to. Let me see. I don't know if I don't know if you know Wopyeong-dong.
Yeah, that's where I am at.
Yeah, so that's where I actually started the route there.
Okay.
It took me like a couple of hours to navigate.
Oh, yeah, because that's near the Gapcheon subway station. Because there's a Wopyeong, and then Gapcheon is the next stop where you could start the route. So, let me catch up here. Okay, now Fred is joining us. Okay. So let's see. This dude is judgmental. He has not been to Mindanao. He mentioned General Santos. Manny Pacquiao land is safe. Anything in the world is not safe if you're not safe. You're not safe if you're not in the right place.
I don't know if I don't know if I'm judgmental. I mean, you know, this is just based on my personal experience. But I'm not saying General Santos is a bad city. You know, it's just, again, like I've been to Mindanao a few times, and based on my experience, I mean, I feel a bit uneasy on places that I've probably never been. So while I can understand the fact that, you know, maybe there are people who want to know, like, what Mindanao's like, or what Visayas is like, or what Luzon is like. So this is just based on my personal experience. So you know, you can take it at face value, or, you know, you can pretty much just encourage others to go to General Santos. So again,
yeah. I actually do want to go by Zamboanga because, you know, I heard since they speak Spanish over there.
Yeah.
So I want to experience that. And blogger Drew Brinsky actually went out there to blog about it. So he did. So last count, broker says 8 bikes. Let's see, 90% don't want for it. I would say ignore Thailand and wait for them to beg us to come back. But yeah, that's matter of opinions. Bad news. Do they mean China too?
China.
Yeah. Okay, and Thomas agreed. Bobby Flake says, do you have a video come out? Bobby wants to see Jan have a video come out. Yeah, so the Jan's getting a lot of attention here. Now, Nitbon, let's see. Okay, yep, so still has friends riding the bikes. So let's see. Fred, you be... Okay, so Gormite Fred, you be hating. Yep, and agree or disagree. Okay, and Davis, Jeffrey goes Davis between Saco and San Fran. So that's the Bay Area. Yep, and Bobby Flake says he misses us too. So we have this channel. Yeah. So so they're always checking updates here with mine. Okay. Wow, that's the thing with StreamYards. I got fast internet here, but it's being a little slow today. Yeah. Okay. Paul does have a live stream when the mood strikes him. Yeah. You don't hang out at Paul's stream, do you, Daniel? I see you once in a while there.
I have nothing against Paul, to be honest with you. I just think he caters to more around his age. I could be wrong though. You know, I respect the fact that he's doing live streams and along with other guests like Gio, Enrique, and yourself. But I mean, you know, certain things that I'm just probably not fond of. But again, I have a lot of respect for Paul. So.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. And for me, I was attracted to Paul because of where we grew up. So we kind of have that thing from the San Fernando Valley thing going. So
okay.
I mean, cool.
A little bit of commonality between you two, right?
Yeah.
Just being that area. Okay.
Yeah. So that's what kind of.
I may not have a lot of comment with Paul, so that's probably just part of the indication why I don't go to his live streams that much.
Right. Understood. Yeah.
No offense, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's my new norm.
Yeah. I like to laugh at Paul a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Not everyone knows. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to like this question. All right. Yeah. All right. Yep. And yep. It was my anniversary. So. Okay. Let's see. I like this question from Bama.
Are the red lights open in Korea yet? Is he talking about the traffic, or is it the indication that Korea is open to foreigners now?
Yeah,
that's what I'd like to know.
Yeah, yeah. I'll say go to Busan, but yeah, of course, lockdown, cancellation, ride, so can't ride as much. But you've been able to ride by yourself, right, Daniel?
Yeah, I mean, most of the time, I still put my mask on, you know, just as a precaution. Yeah. Like if I were to, like, say, breathe from all these droplets, like say during morning, because it's still kind of foggy. Yeah, I wear masks, but there are times that I don't need to wear a mask. But just to be sure that you know, just to avoid getting sick, I just pretty much wear masks.
Yeah. Yeah. And one time I caught a cold, and actually the mask kind of helped me out. And then I just made sure I walk and sweated it out. That's one thing I like, warm weather. Because if it's cold here, oh my goodness, I'm in trouble. So I have to get warm quickly.
Same here.
yeah, David White was talking about the fines and masks. So, but so far, yeah, I get a lot of like put your mask on thing. I don't get cops harassing me. Even in LA where I forgot my mask, they just asked me to put my mask on.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a like a precaution. Wear masks. Whereas in the Philippines, you'd be like, if you're caught not wearing a mask, you'll be arrested and detained. I
Yeah.
mean, imagine imagine being taken away and not seeing the day of like being in the streets.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've seen one foreigner, they just dragged him into the truck and shoved him off.
Yeah, it's quite sad. It's quite
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah. And here's what he wants to learn, or I've learned that he wants to travel. So after seeing my daughter in Korea and a good friend who lives in Hong Kong.
Okay. Which part of the Philippines you want to travel? And so, and you say after seeing your daughter in Korea and your good friend lives in Hong Kong. So, do you
Yeah.
plan on going to do all three countries, like possibly next year?
Yeah. And I figured he would go to Korea first because he wants to see his daughter.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Makes sense.
yeah, it'll be much easier to move around Korea. So be easy access. Yeah, he even showed me what city she'll be in. So the city, I'm not going to name the city out of privacy, but yeah, it's a small little town with 100,000. But as I say, Korea's one of the most safest countries around. I've seen like young women walk at 1 a.m. with no issues in Korea. Because I was walking home one night too. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna answer that. I don't think that's part of the new norm. Okay. Uh, the idea of having those kinds of clubs are not suitable for everybody at this time. So maybe your friend can go somewhere else, like say TGI Fridays. Maybe I don't know. Meet some nice waitresses there and have a good dining experience, which I'll hardly believe, but that's up to you.
Yeah. Yeah. So, good question, Bama. So, have to have fun. Yeah. Agreed. Thank you, Bobby. And Jan. Oh, yeah. Yep. And Ron uses that big 27-inch screen. So he's watching us on the big screen. So, yep. And look who's here. Earl. Yeah. Earl, I think he's like driving his truck up and down all over the United States. So he's on that road.
Hey Earl,
So,
how are you
yeah.
doing?
Yeah, good old Earl. Let's see. I mean, expats in Thailand, not in COVID situation. So that's what he was talking about. And Go More Hike says hello to Earl. And then Earl's like, not much going on. So, and Go More Hike says, I'm good. Yeah. And I have to click on something or else I'm going to lose my spot with the comments.
That's okay. Take your time. No problem.
Yeah. So, okay. So, Nippon says, I have an aluminum road bike and a carbon fiber road bike. It's got a couple road bikes. So we got into biking too. All right. Here's like Thomas here. Let's see. And Thomas, I bet anywhere in the Philippines is safer than Chicago.
Yeah, I can tell you. It's kind of like we're seeing a hotspot of the protests in major U.S. cities nowadays than the Philippines.
Yep. And Earl says cool. And let's see here. Okay, so here Jeffrey has something for you, Dan.
I'll give it a shot. I don't have to be honest, I don't have a truck, but maybe if I can cycle all the way to Tampa, that'll take about a day or so before getting to those specific destinations. We'll see. I might have to do a world record on that.
And Go More Hike says, yeah. Let's see here. Okay, so 34 people died in Chicago this week from the COVID gunshot wounds. They'll be voting by mail. Yep. And that is my birthplace, Chicago, of all places. Yeah, it was. Let's see. Yep, not get too political. Yep. Let's see here. And conspiracies out there. How you doing? Ether 125 and joking. And here's Jeffrey. I'm going to... Okay. So that is correct. So he's saying he's going to visit all 3 countries in the Philippines. He would like to start with the Philippine cities, starting with D, Dumaguete, and Davao.
Davao, yeah. You can start. Maybe you can start going to Davao first. Like if you want to be in an open area where there's a lot of people you can meet, and you can actually try all kinds of foods. Davao is one of the best cities to be there. Dumaguete, a lot of expats. You can attempt to get along with those expats, but I mean, again, that's your prerogative. So, but I would go with Davao first, in my opinion.
Yeah. And Jeffrey can go say hi to Mr. Ron. He's over there in Davao.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep. And let's see. And David White. Okay, so he's in the Philippines now near Dumaguete. So,
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, that's one.
So, which part of the small town near Dumaguete do you stay, David? In Bayawan, Valencia, somewhere that's right across Cebu.
Yeah. Or even Bakong.
Macong, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, be interesting to know. And let's see here. Yep. Are casinos in Vegas open yet? I mean to Google it. Well, I know because Tommy's not here today. He said it was open the last time he was on the stream. So I don't know for sure because I've been
it opened since June, but I'm not sure about this month, to be honest. Yeah.
And which casinos are open? Yeah. All right, Mr. Ron says, I've never felt that I was in any kind of danger in the Philippines, but I'm from a large city, so I'm used to keeping an eye on my surroundings. Yeah. Well, in a way, that kind of like never leaves us, especially if we grew up in the West, especially in the United States.
Yeah.
You figure. Even in Korea, I still kind of...
I mean, like... like you mentioned Korea, like in Seoul, I never felt any kind of danger at all. Like everything is just relatively safe. And of course Singapore. Like Singapore is like there's cameras all around you, as if like nobody's gonna attempt to try to do you harm.
Yeah, we have lots of CCTV in Korea and, like you said, in Singapore.
Yeah, Singapore, and in some cases, Bangkok, Thailand. There's a whole lot of CCTVs.
Yeah,
like I've actually never felt threatened. So, like, I came back to the hotel around 2 or 3 a.m. Never been threatened. So.
Yeah. So, and let's see. And Daniel, have you been to Everglades?
I've been there 3 times.
Okay.
I saw some manatees, big old snakes, um, and they have this long bike trail that probably will leave you stranded for days, literally. But there's like there's like what do you call it? Camping grounds where you can actually sleep at night if you want to.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, and Jeffrey has a question here about he'll be in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I'm here. I mean, I'm not near Jacksonville University, but yeah, I'm here in Jacksonville. So
Yeah. So, yep. And you have his email, Jeffrey. So, yeah, contact him, email him.
Tanjay.
And yep. Okay. 10J.
Oh, okay,
So,
Tanjay.
yeah. So he's, okay, not too far. And let's see. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So Thomas is confirming Vegas are open. Yeah. So we have two Thomases we're in Vegas. Well, Thomas in Palm Springs, but we have the Thomas Hahn, who's not here today.
Mm. You'll treat to lunch. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I am all for it.
Yeah.
Just let me know when. I'll go there.
Yeah. Yeah. You can send me a picture on the Kakao Talk.
We'll try Korean.
Yeah.
See if he's had Korean before.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of expats, has one tried to swindle you before? I've heard this from other bloggers. How about
Thank goodness,
yourself?
no. Thank goodness, no. Never.
Yeah.
I've never had someone try to swindle me or try to scam me. So, luckily, it's just a matter of just asking questions to kind of, I don't know, test his or her logic.
Yeah.
What is her agenda? What is his agenda, pretty much?
Yeah. And same thing. Yeah, I've never been asked or been swindled by expats. I guess I give up that vibe. It's like, yeah, don't you dare ask me to come into your scheme.
Yep.
So I'm usually quick about just reading that. Okay, and Ron's in Davao. He just mentioned your comment. I'll read your comment, Ron. The casino in Davao City is locked down. So, yeah, I've heard that too. And let's see, for circumstances, I had to take an hour-long hike along dark alleys with unfriendly barking dogs in dingy neighborhoods in Bulacan. I was at the wrong place at the wrong, but still felt safe. Yeah.
Most of the dogs in Bulacan, I think I don't think there's like big dogs in Bulacan area, which is actually like on top of Metro Manila. So yeah, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, 3 a.m. Yeah. And and of course, when I'm walking late at night in Philippines, excuse me, the only thing I have when a Filipino talks to me, it's basically he's a hubble driver. Need a ride back?
Or taxis, for that matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I was like, no. He goes, IT Park. I'm like, it's down the street, down the block. I can walk home.
Yeah.
Except you got to just watch the sidewalk. So, flashlight phone, make sure I don't trip and fall on my face.
Well, I can tell you, like in the Philippines, like especially at night, it's best not to hold your phone, all the time, because there will be some instances where someone might steal it and then just run away. Like usually, like say if someone were to drive it a hubble, they'll go be like in a fast paced approach, and then they'll snag your phone and boom, it's gone.
Yeah.
So just better be careful, actually.
Yeah. Well, actually, because the reason I made sure I walk where I see everyone coming at me. So I never walk where they can come behind me. So that's one of the things I kind of changed my strategy because someone mentioned that to me, like what you did. He goes, King, that's what the theft that you deal with in the Philippines, the phone snatch.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
here's my improvisation of that. Is because at one time, um, like I have one of these phone case with a chain attached to my belt holster. So
Right.
I was holding the phone, and then someone attempted to snag it, and luckily because it has a chain right in the bottom, so he couldn't successfully snag my phone away. He was driving a motorcycle, and right behind me, that's when he pretty much tried to steal it, and he did it. He didn't. So it just really deterred him.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. Jeff says, okay, yeah. Oh, the reason he doesn't have the email is he came late.
Yeah, I just posted on the comment section.
Yeah. So it's in the comments. And yeah, and if you still forget, Jeffrey, you can still message me and I can send that to you. Yeah, I was using my phone to see the road. It was muddy road and 10 local dogs were there. Yeah. So, yep. So always have to be careful. Yeah. And here you go, Jeffrey, here you go. So rtquest22@gmail.com. So you can message Daniel and get a hold of him. So yeah, if you guys go eat Korean food, it'd be nice to see. Go eat that samgyeopsal or whatever you want to eat. All you can eat. Yeah. Okay, let's get through some last minutes. 10 local dogs thought I was invading their territory. Or they're looking for a friend. So, yep. So that's what we have. All right. So let's see. We'll go maybe a few more minutes. And if you have any last minute comments, because Daniel, is it getting late over there?
It's 11:30 p.m., but I'm still awake because I'm actually working right now. But we're still chatting. Don't worry.
Yeah. Yeah.
My attention is still for you and the viewers out there.
Yeah. So let's see. All right. Let's see. Okay. So Jeffrey ask. Let's see. Oh. Yeah. So you get to pick the restaurant, Daniel.
Well, I appreciate that. I will definitely let you know. When is your ETA, or when are you arriving in Jax? That's what I'd like to know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm curious. I'm curious. It's like, what is going to be your purpose to be here in Jax? Do you want to talk about something, or you want to get to know me? Just let me know. You know.
Yeah. So, yeah, have a fun get together too.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. Bama says, I heard a similar news story in Thailand. Westerners wearing gold necklace. Man rides up beside a scooter wearing a full face helmet. His necklace was snatched and drove off. So, yeah. I mean, I've heard this before in Thailand too, but.
Okay. Yeah. Very rare. Very rare, actually.
Yeah. I just heard that from, fellow expats when I was over there. Oh, China Dave. So, excuse me, running late, so you'll catch the replay, but still glad that you showed up. So, yep. So,
I'm curious about I'm curious about like the viewers' experience based on this new norm. Like
yeah.
you know, like I'm just curious, like, what do you think of this new norm now? Like, are you content with this new norm, or do you want to go back to your old norms, or are you like adapting to this new norm? Let me know. You know, I'm curious about that.
Yeah. And speaking of new norms, we had a new norm back almost 20 years ago on regarded to flying.
Yeah, and in addition to that, like, you know, how are you doing with with your jobs? For instance, like, do you still have a job, or are you now unemployed? Um, you know, many people that I've encountered are pretty much
Yeah.
depressed, you know, for the most part because they've lost their jobs. So I'm curious. I'm curious from the viewers out there, like, what's it like?
Yeah.
What's it like being stuck at home and not doing anything?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So let us know before. Yep. Good. Now we're getting some answers here. All right. So he's coming to Jack to swipe your phone.
he's not gonna swipe my phone, that's for sure.
Yeah.
He's gonna get some pepper spray and some butt whooping. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah. New norm sucks. Yeah. It does. Yeah. And let's see. And yeah, that's what. And of course, yeah, we all want to go back to the no, norm. So yeah, but question is, will we ever get back there? You know, that's still $1 million question. And what are we going to be able to get to do?
It's like the old norm that you want to.
Yeah.
Do you want to? Do you want to? Do you want the old back to the old norm, or put some of your old norm with the new norm? That's my question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yep. And yeah, Nip Bond says back to the old ways. And Jeffrey says, thanks for the email. Yeah. Yep. He wants the old norm. My job closed on pushed me to start Social Security. So, yeah. Yeah. So,
Okay, so Thomas, you pretty much started collecting social.
yeah. So, okay. So that's why he was starting to. Okay. I understand. Yeah. And hopefully we'll get Daniel back. And Nippon says, I missed the social part of my job, but I find myself working more than usual. Yeah, at home. So that's the thing with me. Yeah, I'm just like missing the social part, but luckily I still I've been allowed to do the social part here in Korea. So that's what I've got to do. So I still have the part of the old norm still available to me here. That's a good thing about being here. That's the Costco reminded me it's still the old norm. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so go more hike. King, you might be safer in Korea now. What do you think? Do the 5? Okay. Yeah, well, yeah, I feel very safe in Korea. I've always, because I've been in and off of it for, 5 years here. So I've already known how safe it is, but it's, yeah, much safer in Korea. Let me get Daniel back to the stream here. So, yep.
Sorry about that,
All right.
guys.
Welcome back, Daniel. Yeah. So, yeah, but I'm getting to do most of the old norm in Korea too. As I was telling Daniel, like when I went to Costco, it reminded me I can't do what I want at Costco, sit down and eat. So that's the thing. But yeah, so I've kind of had that enjoyment at least. Uh-oh. Okay, Daniel should be coming back. So I'll still answer things till we get him back here. I'll get him back on the stream. Yep. Oh, welcome back. Yeah. I know I paid your bill. And Dave says he's like to travel, retired. So he's
Sorry about that, guys.
still like to do something. Yeah, I want to travel. Well, yeah. You there, Daniel? You back?
Maintain the connection here. Looks like Comcast has been slowing me down.
Oh, okay. Comcast. Okay. Oh, and here's your answer from Jeffrey.
Okay. Dropping off your sons. Okay. Nice.
Yeah. So in the fall. All right. And here's your answer, Daniel. What day he's coming? And Nippon says stay. Okay. So he'll be back August 14th. So yeah.
I'll let you know when.
Yeah. Okay. And for broker, it's no big deal work-wise, as I'm largely semi-retired, self-employed, but I'd like to be able to socialize and travel soon. Yeah. So that's mostly the biggest issue for a lot of us. I want to get out and about to other countries. So that's the issues, we're dealing with right now. We just can't go anywhere. Let's see here, and let's get the last.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
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 Brain injury.
Okay. And Ether's reason is the norm for 4 years after brain injury. He's 100% disabled, so he's used to it. Now everyone knows what it's like to be disabled, not fun. So he's been on this norm for the past 4 years. So yeah. Okay, Dan, you still there? Or is Comcast causing problems right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going up and down.
Okay.
But I can still hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, we'll go a couple more minutes if there's anything. Daniel, do you have anything else to add?
Well, let's see. Actually, it's just more like I'm not sure if I'm looking forward to this new norm. Like after this is all learned, is that in times of crisis, it's like I can turn to family, like my family, where I can pretty much communicate and share about anything. My experiences of when I was in Asia for almost 5 years. So it's for me. It's like it's something for me to be productive here.
Yeah. Okay.
In Florida in general. But I'm curious to know. How about you, King?
Yeah. Well, what I would like is, my big thing is being able to just be able to be with my friends, my family, and especially for myself, I like to be with my significant other, my girlfriend. So I like to be able to roam and go, where I can do that. But now it's beyond our control what we can really do now. So we've lost a lot. So the old norm is we had a lot more freedom, but now the new norm is now we're really restricted.
Imagine how social interaction would be like when the new norm completely takes place.
Yeah.
For instance, do we keep having to wear masks
Yeah.
using
Oh, yeah.
using YouTube live streams or virtualize everything? Oh, I'm sorry, I must have cut off.
Yeah.
So, but let me continue this by saying, let's say in terms of doing business with people, do we have to do an online setting, or should we just do like this robocalls, like from how do you call it? Do we keep getting all these ad-based phone calls as part of the social
Yeah.
interaction?
Yeah.
So instead of like meeting face to face. So
Mm.
so it's a we're living in an uncertain time. So I hope that um, while we're in this live stream, I hope we can all keep in touch. And I appreciate the fact that the viewers out there are watching us, having this kind of social interaction. And we'll do our best to make this more conversational as much as possible. You know,
Yeah.
we don't want to lose our humanity just because of this pandemic.
Yeah. So yeah. And yeah. And one thing is, yeah. One thing probably for the better for the new norm is like maybe the future for businesses. People are going to probably be employees will get to stay home more often too, instead of having to waste building office space. So I could see companies maybe making a switch, like companies like Halo Top. Most of their employees work at home now, so I could see that happening with this new norm in that situation for the business aspect, since that's the direction they might be looking to move over to. So yeah,
Imagine like say for example on the business side, like say if you
yeah,
like retail, do you feel comfortable shopping online, or do you still prefer like going to brick brick and mortar stores
yeah,
um, out there, whether you in Korea, US, Philippines, or any other country?
yeah,
So, do you
yeah,
do you prefer um, um, having a service done remotely, or like say face to face?
yeah,
That's my question.
yeah. And of course, these days for myself, I'm like 50-50 depending on what the item is.
Mm-hmm.
And for example, if I want a new camera, a new drone, or laptop, yeah, I don't want to be doing that thing online. I want to go play with the thing and get to see it and then ask the questions. So that's the tough part, of course. On other things, you know, we're things it's a little easier just to get stuff where you don't have to really like play with the item as much. But yeah, it
Now, how about like say the dining experience? Like say if you go to restaurants,
yeah.
um, you know, do you do you prefer eating out, or do you want to like just say buy groceries and just make yourself at home?
Yeah. And that's the other part. I prefer going out to dine out. And of course,
Mhm.
I've been very spoiled here with that. You
Especially
know,
with that all you can eat the Korean buffet over there.
yeah, I've been so spoiled here in Korea, you know, and I just have to really enjoy it. I'm going crazy with it because I'm just trying to enjoy it as much as I can. Because even in Korea, this could be taken away from all of us.
Hmm. Yeah.
So I have that thing like I need to go out as much as possible, get out as much as possible. Because
Now the last point I want to make is the travel. Like is travel now a necessity instead of luxury? You know, it's
Yeah.
a good question, right?
Yeah. And most of our cases now, it is now more of a necessity for me. It is because I need to get places
Mhm.
because
Okay.
I have family in both, and for yourself. So for me, it's more of a necessity now than a luxury.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Totally understandable.
yeah. But yeah, that will be the dream. Now that will be like a dream come true again. And
We'll see what
something,
happens. We'll see what happens when this thing ends. Hopefully by the end of this year or sometime in 2021. Who knows?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We'll know. We'll definitely know exactly. All right. So let's see. I'm going to try to finish out these comments real quick. I'm just going to try to read them through, and then we're going to probably get going because that Korean food is calling me too right now, since you
Yeah.
just mentioned it. So, Ron, just real quick. Yep, you took a hike with Nay to get a tricycle. Yep, and go more hike. Hike. Yeah, somebody said hike. And Ron says the worst thing is the lockdown for me is he's an extrovert and he likes being around people. So but it really isn't that bad being locked down with my girlfriend. And then Nippon says, "Yep, my company paid me to build an office at home." Yeah. And Ron goes, "Neen's canteen is locked down, so she is selling online. So you just figure a way to work around the problems." Yes, in Korea they just call it Korea food, just food. No, I always say it's Korean food. I'm in Korea. Yep, and Thomas, I'm a social person too. Yep, and I would imagine. So, yep, that's a joke from friends. Yeah, knit bomb. So, yeah. All right. Well, I want to thank all you viewers for coming out, contributing to the stream. And I thank have and we thank Daniel for coming on to this stream. So we love the just in report every time here or with Geo. So I think Geo is live streaming tomorrow. I forgot what time because I don't think he scheduled it yet.
Mhm.
So I think we'll all hang out at Geo's tomorrow, and my next live stream will still be Friday, same time, 10 o'clock Philippines. So I will have it set up by Thursday, and I'll have the topic ready, what we'll talk about. So definitely. All right. So do you have anything to say to our viewers, Daniel?
I just want to say thank you so much, and please be safe. And I hope COVID-19 will be over soon. And and do your best to uh, stay optimistic, and hopefully our lives will be much better than it was before. So take care, everybody, and stay safe.
All right. All right. So everyone, take care, stay safe, and I will see you at my next stream on Friday. So
Yep.
either a good day or good night. So
Take
goodbye,
care, guys.
everyone. Take care. Sleep time.
Mhm.